Yeah, it's launch day.
All right, everybody, welcome to the launch day dance party. We're here. We're ready for round two.
So excited. I think they're going. It is looking really good, folks. We
It
have
is
been
looking really good.
monitoring. We've been monitoring the NASA feed. We've been monitoring NASA TV, SpaceX, Twitter, and I think we are go. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it, but it's looking good.
Well, you're wearing your you're wearing your lucky shirt. That's all that matters. So you obviously were showing off the NASA asked everybody earlier, do they prefer the worm or the meatball? And I think we are both very pro meatball.
Soup. Whoa, there it is. There it is. Pro meatball, baby.
Yep. How are we doing on sound?
Brian, you're doing good. Just bring that a little further away from it. It's popping. So bring it a little out from. Right. Yep, there you go. That's perfect now.
Awesome. I'm using my Rebel Alliance gamer headset, if you see here. So trying a new headset for today, ladies and gentlemen.
I like it. So
we are looking good. So everybody, this is the WeeksEnd show. My name's Ryan Boyles. My partner in crime from up north is Graham Noseworthy.
What's up?
We are just here because we attempted a little bit of a watch party on Wednesday afternoon. The LaunchAmerica mission was scrubbed due to weather at almost the very last moment before they went up. Just with minutes to spare, and they rescheduled for today. But things are looking good. They were 50-50 last night. That's improved quite significantly today.
Indeed. Looks like they're good. They are venting.
Well, let's do something here. We're going to bring in... First, we're going to enter our own personal Skylab. We're hovering. We're above the Earth.
This is great. Ground control to Major RAB. Why are our arms up? Is this how astronauts float through
space? Just imagine that's what you do. That's probably a bad idea when you're,
And then you have to do a little bit of this.
I heard something. I heard something from the feed. So we're going to bring in. This is the live feed from NASA.
Yes,
this is the clean feed. I'm going to bring it into theater mode. Bump this up a little bit.
Bump it up.
There we go.
Now, folks, if you're watching with us, or you're watching anywhere in the world, you're going to be able to hear the NASA feed along with us, and we want to hear what they say. And let me just, I want to warn all of you. It's 3:07 p.m. Eastern right now. By the time we get closer to 3:22 or whatever the exact moment is that they're launching, I just got to warn you, the two of us are going to go crazy. I'm going to warn you of the following. There could be some whoops. There could be some cheering. Fair warning, I might start crying because this is so exciting. It's the first time we've gone back to space since, 2011? Is this a shuttle retired?
There might be some baby Yodas just staring blankly into the screen, wondering what the big deal is.
It's entirely possible that could happen. I mean, it'd be unusual, but
you just never know.
Here we go. Ready? Zero gravity, baby Yoda. Okay. Anyway, very exciting. So just fair warning, folks, this could get a little emotional. And if it does, just kind of bear with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and if you weren't listening to the previous show, we touched on one of the experiences that Graham and I had together was going to Kennedy last year.
And forward track nominally.
And we actually toured the facility, which is awesome. Lots of cool stuff there.
If you look on my Twitter, @GrahamKnows, earlier today I shared a layout of some photos when Ryan and I were there. It was one of the first times I got to see the shuttle. It was Atlantis. Beautiful shuttle. It was the first time I'd been that close to one, which, having grown up being obsessed with it, was really cool to see it. We got to see, I think it was Bruce McCandless's suit, Gus Grissom's suit. We also saw some artifacts that were kind of tough to look at. The door from Apollo 1, Columbia's forward windows, orbiter windows, and the American flag panel from Challenger. But it was good to see that stuff. So, but we also got to meet Al Warden. We got to see the Saturn V. We got to go. The tour was incredible, and we saw this pad. and we saw the SpaceX building. We saw them getting this ready, and we saw all of this. So I mean, it was we didn't see the Falcon 9 or the Crew Dragon, but I mean, in our imaginations, we saw.
I know, right? It was very vivid. Going out on that little beach pad where they took us out on, like, I mean, it was decades old,
incredible.
Like artifacts. And there's some interesting tidbits. They have turtles are in their natural habitat out there on the seashore. So there's lots of, like, amongst all of the launch pads, it's kind of wilderness out there in between the launch pads.
I don't know if you remember, Ryan, but let me see if I can find it here. Do you remember that I wrote a poem?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what?
Tortoise ran a most unknown race.
I think I have an update for you. Part of my sabbatical out at Rodanthe on the Outer Banks last week, I found us an artist.
Ooh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the project is moving forward. But it was really
super children.
Yeah. Oh, probably a decade from now. We'll see. I mean,
could be 20 years. That's all.
But you know what? I think we're going to witness some more inspiration here with the command. The crew program, the Artemis program. There's so many great things going on with space in general these days.
It's pretty exciting, and I'm pumped about SpaceX. I think it's really exciting that commercial crew is taking us back up there. I think it's the way this has all been such an incredible teaming of efforts between all the different organizations, especially SpaceX and NASA, is just amazing. Ryan, you're floating again. Ryan, reactivate your artificial gravity.
But I'm tethered. Luckily, I'm
tethered.
I'm tethered to the live stream.
See, I have to hang on because with this wireless headset, I'll just float away, and then that's it.
That's dangerous, man. But you're a professional. You've got your suit. Well, you've got your EV suit. So if you float too far, you can make it.
I do. All I have to do is just put up my emergency hood, and I'm good to go. All right, let's see where we're at. Where are we? So exciting.
Deep breaths.
I know. All right, I'm looking at Bob and Doug in the capsule.
We're almost at T-minus 10 minutes. We're roughly around 10 minutes 53 seconds right now, according to the live stream over on SpaceX on Twitter.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Well, tell everybody why it's exciting. I'm not sure everyone caught our Wednesday show where we were nerding out about the significance of LaunchAmerica or the previous show. But let's do a quick recap of why LaunchAmerica is a big deal.
It's been a long time since people have gone into orbit to the ISS and to do anything really from American soil. And for a long time, since the shuttle retired, we've been relying on the Russian Federation and all of their space program to get us up into orbit. And that's been amazing, and that's great, but it's really exciting to have it happening back here. I mean, it's not like it's the first time anyone's done this or something. I mean, it's not like nothing has been happening at the Cape. There's been, you and I were present for a rocket launch last year. But it's exciting because these two guys, these veteran astronauts of the shuttle program, are going up, and I'm really excited to see them go. Really, really excited.
It's been a huge honor to help you get ready for today's historic mission.
So they just told them to enjoy the flight and have beautiful views of the planet. So it's looking like they're definitely go here.
Yeah, that's exciting to hear. So what do you think the emotions are?
Jay, it is absolutely our honor to be part of this.
I think that they are
back in the launch business.
America's back in the launch business.
Thank you.
I think they're focused, ready, excited, appreciative. I'm sure they're feeling patriotic. I mean, I don't mean that in a cheesy way. I mean it in a good way. And I think that they know the eyes of the world are upon them. Again, sounding dramatic, but I mean it. I mean, the whole world's caught up in this thing, so it's really, really exciting. And when those engines light and they get that kick in the pants and they light this candle, we're back, baby. We're back.
Back. Yeah, and I think
How do you feel?
looking up to the stars for me is inspirational. I mean, I've always thought that, there's something beyond our planet for us to explore. And this is the first step in really establishing a ongoing, line between us and the space station and eventually to the moon before we send people ultimately to Mars. That's the big picture.
I know. Can you imagine? Can you imagine when that happens? I mean, imagine how exciting it would have been in '69 when Neil and Buzz landed, right? And then all the other missions, which to me are extraordinarily exciting,
Yep.
right? But imagine in our lifetime if we get to witness men and women land on Mars. It's almost hard to fathom. And of course, the time between launch and landing will be much longer than it was with the Apollo missions. So there's going to be this like ongoing slow buildup to the landing.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think of the Martian, right? The movie with Matt Damon. The book is, by the way, incredible if you haven't read it. But I love that movie. And that gives you a real, in my humble opinion, and I am not a scientist. I'm not, so I can't,
You only play
one.
You only play one on the internet.
I only pretend to be one on the internet. But my point is that movie gave us a real good view of what it would look like to be there, and I would love to see that happen. Not somebody get left behind and have to be rescued, but I mean the notion of them, like they had the habitat and the rover and all the different systems. I mean, that would just be so incredibly exciting.
Sure.
Boy, we're getting close here.
Stage
6
one,
minutes.
Stage 2.
6 minutes.
Has started.
So they're starting things. I can't quite make out everything.
Yeah, that's the technical term, things.
Yeah, they're starting things. So for all of you watching, we have the clean feed from NASA playing. So there's no commentary because, of course, you want to listen to the insights from Ryan and Graham, of course.
Of course.
But, I got a couple of, while we have a couple of minutes here.
Engine hydraulics at pressure.
I've got a couple of sort of nutty, geeky things for us to dive into while we're waiting.
Okay.
One is I took a gamble last night, and I don't know if it's coincidental or not, but they premiered the new, I guess, comedy series called Space Force on Netflix.
Oh, yeah?
And it stars, it's actually got a huge ensemble cast of comedians that you would recognize, but it's, it's led by everybody's favorite bumbling manager from The Office, Steve Carell, right? So,
yep.
Carell. So it was weird to me because it's a weird time to watch, I think, shows like that are a little bit too on the nose. They're talking, it's based in current times, and it's based on this Air Force general who's promoted to be a 4-star, and he's given this mission to launch a rocket to the moon within 12 months. And he goes off and builds a secret base that nobody can talk about, and hilarity ensues. And I don't know. It was trying to be sarcastic, I think, and a little bit, I don't know. It didn't feel funny to me.
So
interesting.
A good friend of mine, Kevin Hoffman, said the same thing, that it just wasn't what he expected, and
Dragon has transitioned to configure.
He had the same reaction to it. And here's what I think happened. I think they rushed it. I think they rushed it from concept to writing to production. And I'm sure the effort and production that went into it was monumental, and I appreciate, because I know that's a difficult career and a really tough job, believe it or not, for people who don't know, but I think they just kind of rushed it.
Well, I think the subject matter just isn't funny. Like SpaceX and Artemis and all of these missions are really a hope, fueled endeavor for mankind. If you want to take, put that kind of label on it, I do. And then you've got the comedy element of he was given this order by tweet from the president, who they don't name on camera, but it just feels a little bit too it's a little bit too real to be funny, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Because it's almost like it's rooting for our failure, but let's leave that one alone. There's another thing we wanted to show here. I know we're in the final moments here.
Yeah, we are. I'm monitoring here pretty closely.
Well, check this out. Check out the live feed here, folks. This is
Look at that.
the Black
Look at
Tower is kind of a signature thing, and here we are, less than 4 minutes,
AFTS final setup
showing
started.
from the observation point, which is at least, what would you say? That's like 7 to 9 miles away, right?
That view there? No, that's
Yeah.
just one or two. Well, actually,
Well, I mean, they just showed a shot of the countdown clock, and there were civilians out there.
Isn't it 3.5 or 6 or I forget what it is.
I'll have to
I
go
don't
back to
remember.
my tour notes.
Yeah, I know. It's funny
Someone,
'cause
if
we
you
were
know,
actually
leave it in
there.
the comments. But I'm blown away, like we were talking about the other day with the aesthetics of the new design of the equipment, like just the tower itself. You've got this ominous black tower, which I think is kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Dragon has transitioned to terminal count and is on internal power.
Up.
They're on internal power.
Yep.
Here we
So
go,
they're
dude.
on- We're going, I guess. So I'll save my next little item for after we see the launch here, because I think we are getting very, very close, folks.
Yep. T-minus 2 minutes 25 on my end.
Alrighty.
They're on internal power.
Vehicle is transitioning to internal power.
Here they go. I love the look of that thing. I mean, look at that. Look at it.
And it
It's
looks
a
like
little, it's a little phallic, but I mean, it's really, really cool.
But it looks like a spaceship. Come on, folks.
It looks like a spaceship.
You know, the space shuttle was super awesome, but it was a big sort of lumbering. You know, it was like a tractor trailer with a couple of wings.
It's funny, on the NASA feed, it looks like they had a camera.
Lock float is closed out. Propellant fills are complete.
Propellant fills are complete. It looked like they had a camera where they were testing the fire suppression system.
Dragon is in
Oh yeah,
auto
they
arm.
are. See the water venting?
Yep.
So that's also for sound suppression. So that whole thing's going to open up. But what that does is in the event of an emergency, they can pump out just an enormous volume of water really, 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 really fast, especially if those guys have to abort. Oh man, I've got goosebumps, Ryan. No joke. 1 minute, baby. Here we go.
Here we go. All right.
Go, Doug. Go,
All right,
Bob.
everybody.
Go, NASA. Go, SpaceX. Yes.
Go humanity, right? Go America.
Go, all of us.
Dragon is in countdown.
Go team. Let's put it like that.
Go
is armed
team.
for launch.
Go, Team Humans.
All right. I'm going to take off this banner. We're going into full screen mode here.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Full
Look at
screen
that.
mode, folks.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
Go for launch.
Go for launch.
SpaceX Dragon, we're go for launch. Let's light this candle.
All right. They just asked to light the
Oh,
candle.
they said it.
33 seconds, folks.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Yeah, 25.
This is kind of more exciting than when we were standing there last spring, because
know.
we're like,
I know.
I mean, we didn't know what was happening then. We were just standing in a
Oh
field.
my God,
15
this
seconds.
is so great.
10, 9, 8,
8,
7,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1,
1.
0.
Go, baby.
Liftoff of the
Woo!
Dragon.
All right, we have liftoff, folks.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is, folks.
Outstanding.
1 Alpha.
All right.
Yeah.
Go, folks.
1 Alpha.
Oh my God.
One for
Go,
propulsion,
baby.
nominal.
Go.
All right.
Look at that. I can't believe they said, let's light this candle. That is the coolest thing ever.
Well,
I think it was
these
Gus
guys,
that said
these
that.
guys are not fooling around.
Let's light
They've
this candle.
this is not their first
No.
candle.
No. It was, what am I talking about? It was Shepard, I think, that said it. 'Cause
Yep.
He was sitting up there so long. Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
Falcon power and telemetry nominal.
You know what? And when you're
Everything's good. Everything's good.
M1D
watching
throttle
this live, folks, the light from that rocket is so bright that you can't look at it more than a couple of seconds. It is
It
so
looks
bright.
like you're looking at a bright star. And
Yeah.
the thunder, and obviously because there's a big delay in the sound. So at first you're not really paying attention. Then all of a sudden, boom, the sound hits you and you can feel it. It rumbles and it cracks. And it's not like uncomfortably loud. It's just there's no, you can't imagine what it sounds like. You have to hear it for yourself. It's unbelievable. They're going throttle up.
1 Bravo.
Oh my God.
Copy 1 Bravo.
Wow, they are hauling. Look at that.
This is where you
oh
really
my God.
like you could feel a concussion. I mean, and we're talking. This thing is. I mean, it's approaching orbit, but you can. I mean, on the ground, you could feel a concussion on your body from it.
History is made.
Well, America's
First
back.
time in 9 years.
Yeah. So 2011.
Oh man, this is so fantastic.
Up. There we go. Launchpad looks lonely.
It does look lonely. Max Q clear. Pulling 2.3 Gs now.
Whoa.
William Shatner even tweeted, "We have liftoff." That's awesome.
So should we be?
Can you imagine Captain Kirk tweeting something about you? I can't even fathom.
First thing I saw that he posted a really neat. He put himself in one of the helmets. That was pretty neat to see.
That is really cool.
So hang on.
Wow, how exciting!
I think this was the feed just from the ground, and I think what we ought to do
Copy 2 Alpha.
is switch over to the feed that's showing
MVAC ignition.
Go back to the NASA feed. Yeah. Main engine cut off. Miko.
Acquisition of signal loss.
I think they just had signal loss. I know they've had first stage separation, second stage lit.
All right, I've got it for us here. I'm going to show us a view here that's got the exterior view.
Yep. Of the second stage engine.
Yep.
And dude, like the suits are cool. The ship is cool. And it's so interesting that there's not just look at how simple it is in there because everything's on the screens now, right? There's no billion buttons surrounding them because it's all computer controlled. It's incredible.
Yeah. I was looking at, there was a comparison last night that somebody did of all of the like indicators and the buttons and everything, comparing an Apollo command module to what they have in the Dragon. And let me just read this off. The Apollo command module had 24 instrument panels, 566 switches, and 40 event indicators, which I guess were manual or sort of, they're mechanical displays. And this, like you see in the screen here, they have 3 touch screens in front of them and 2 rows of 38 buttons below.
Wow. They are 200 miles downrange. Wow. They're looking good. They are looking good. I love how they're just so chill.
Yeah.
I mean, they just look like they look like they're just 2 dudes sitting back watching a movie. I mean, it's hilarious.
Well,
I know that's their training and that I get it, but it's so funny.
Well, when things go well, that's a good thing. We want this to be boring, right?
You know what, Ryan? That's a really good point, bro. That's a really good point. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and mute that and chat about some other things, and then we'll wrap it up and let the world go on watching. Although, let's see. Yeah, they've got a few minutes before entry burn and then landing burn for second engine cutoff. So if you want to, you said you had something else you want to cover, we can do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've got some silliness for today. I thought, we were going to have a show dedicated to memes this week. We're going to, because SpaceX and the Launch America mission was pushed from Wednesday to today, we decided we would delay yesterday's show until next Friday. So we'll bring you a lot of the cool geeky stuff you're used to on next week's show. But there's just a couple of things we thought we could have fun with. And let me just bring this up really quick. We've been having some fun with Baby Yoda, which you all saw. The child, l'enfant, as I like to call him, as my kids like to call him, on a previous episode. But I think you have a little something in your household now.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, right? So what do you got there? Matching.
There he is.
Look at that.
Yes, it's fine. We're in our 40s. This is totally normal.
I call it my emotional support alien. I mean, because in these days, in these times, but let me flash this back up on the screen. So one of the things that I love is Baby Yoda memes.
My emotional support alien. I'll have to remember that one.
I don't know how to make this any bigger, but I've been starting to recreate some of the memes I see on Instagram and Tumblr and other weird places. When you click accept cookies, but you don't get any cookies, is one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. So this is Baby Yoda using the Chromebook as only he can.
Nice. So they did have a successful entry burn, and first stage is coming back down. By the way, we're still coming up to landing burn here pretty quickly. Remember watching it come back down? How amazing that was.
That was one of the highlights. I got to be honest. I mean, there's nothing that can prepare you for that.
Oh, Ryan. By the way, we caught our scrub faces the other day. We forgot to capture our launch faces, so we need to do that. You ready for launch face?
All right, we can do that. You let me know when you want to do that.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Launch face. Got it.
All right. Awesome. Yes, that's our go. So, well, do we want to show the folks up? I see a view here of mission control. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, go ahead and put it back up.
Alrighty then.
Ryan, your launch face is amazing.
I'm known for my launch face.
You are. Old launch face boils. That's what we call you. All
right.
That's fact.
Check this out. Look, they even have a cool 404 screen for their of course SpaceX would have a funny look. Oh wait. Oh, it landed before it landed off camera, so
hey man, as long as it happened, right?
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you what. All right, we're going to cut.
Are you going to find the replay and then we'll pretend like it didn't happen yet? Let's do that.
Let me see if I can do that. I'm not sure if with the live stream they actually let you go back like that. But check out, there's mission control, very different looking.
Ooh.
Looks like a lunchroom cafeteria, quite honestly.
Well, that's SpaceX control.
Right.
I think they still use. Actually, I'm not sure if they use mission control. I think they were in the firing room. Oh, something just floated right past the screen there. It looked like a stuffed animal or something
in the capsule. Well, you see, It looks like one of the straps on his belt there is kind of floating in air there. It's loose. So I don't have the ability to scroll back in this live stream feed that they have for us. So we'll have to scrub that idea for the moment. I just love these views of being in orbit and seeing the planet just like it's a wall of, it's floating by. Amazing view. So tell me, if this were you, if this were you and me sitting in this seat with these awesome chairs, having this sort of view, it looks like they can see under their screens out the window there. What would be your first reaction to seeing kind of the planet as a wall right there, kind of floating by?
So I think my mind would probably immediately go to the blue marble, right? Which is that photo or Earthrise, right? So some of those photos that were taken far away from the Earth, realizing, I mean, I do think that realization of like one planet, one people kind of like sentiment, right? That's what I think would probably come to mind. The realization of a dream, right? I mean, have you not been thinking about that since you were a little kid? I mean, I have my whole life.
Heck yeah. I told you all I wanted to be a freaking Air Force pilot, and or a Navy pilot, and that's basically back in the day. That's how you get in the astronaut chair. That was the only way.
Yep. So I think thoughts like that, but I mean, the reality is we think those are the thoughts that would hit us, but look at that. Look at that. Oh man, that's wow. Bum 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 bum. That's amazing. But I think that you're so focused on the mission and the things that you have to be doing that I just don't think there's a lot of time for thoughts like that. I could be wrong. When they get to the ISS and they can sit in the cupola, or they've had time, or they can, then yes. Right. But I think right now they're just so focused on the mission that I'm not 100% sure they're having those thoughts that we think they're having.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, I mean, I have no idea what my reaction would be.
I know what your reaction would be.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you'd be thinking.
Okay.
I know what you'd be thinking. You'd be caught up in the majesty of the moment, but the first thing that would occur to you is there had better be sushi up here. and I know it. You'd be looking for the sushi, baby. Don't tell me you wouldn't be.
That's one of in all the movies, I'm always fascinated by the mundane things, like when they eat, or when all the things they don't show you usually in a sci-fi action adventure, like where does the space sushi come from? Is it is it good stuff or not? These are the important questions. So amazing stuff. I don't know what else to say other than just good luck and Godspeed to our two American heroes here that are in orbit. They're going to dock. They're delivering lots of cool stuff to the station. So one thing that I noticed,
Colonel Doug Hurley and Bob Benkin. So good luck, boys.
Yes. Can we do a little preview? One thing that I saw was there's going to be a mission this summer where they send a new rover to Mars. They had a big crowdsource campaign to name the rover. It was named the Persevere. And one of the really neat things that I saw was some of the stuff that they're going to be sending up with the rover this time. So I wanted to show this off because it's a little nerdy, and I think you'll like it.
I like nerd.
Nerd alert.
Nerdy.
Check this out. So coming to you, Mars, this summer aboard the NASA Persevere, there's going to be an instrument to search for sand grain size clues. And then there's going to be a camera to capture the close-up images. And they've named them Sherlock and Watson.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I don't know if that Watson name is a little bit in conflict with some kind of trademarks from a company we know about, but very cool nonetheless for the literary reference.
Super cool.
So you can find this tweet from NASA. I retweeted it, and they have a story where you can go look at what they're calling this detective and its assistant will put a magnifying glass onto the Martian rocks that Persevere is going to study.
Oh my God, I love it. This is so great. What a wonderful thing. And you know what, brother? I think we needed a little light right now, I mean, there's so much turmoil. We can't just have this show without acknowledging what's happening, right? I mean, these protests, it's just my heart has been broken for days over what's been happening, And this is a little light in that darkness, and it really makes me happy. Now, one has nothing to do with the other. I'm not suggesting like, hey, everything's fine now, but it is great to see this. And we have a lot of our fellow humans out there who will not have the opportunity to stop and enjoy a moment like this today, and we need to be thinking about them too. So I'm glad we had an opportunity to do this, but after this, I'll be getting back to monitoring the situation around the United States and with the issues we have going on, and of course the COVID crisis around the world. But to have these little bursts of positivity in amongst just a multitude of challenges is a blessing, a real blessing, and I mean that.
Said. So I just want to wish. I mean, I echo all that, and I just want to wish like a note of, if you can find it, a moment of peace today. I know the struggle that people are going through, it sounds almost insulting to say just take a moment, but everyone needs to keep their heads about this, decide what the next steps are to go forward when you're facing such adversity, and just I guess I wish everyone would stay safe. My brother is up in Brooklyn. He said there was some real craziness in New York last night. I think a lot of us are watching it on social media, and there's it's continuing to unfold. But my personal wish is for everybody to stay safe, regardless of where you are and what you're doing.
Yep. Here, let's see if we can't do a virtual hug here. Let me see if I can just. No, you got to turn the other way, and then let's just go like this. And then, that's a good hug. Thanks,
there we
Ryan.
go. There we go.
That's really
yeah. Nice stuff. Nice stuff.
All
right,
buddy, have a great day. Thanks for doing
Thanks
this.
for watching, everybody. This is WeeksEnd. I'm your co-host, Ryan Boyles. This is Graham Noseworthy. We're going to dance you out, and we'll see you coming up this Friday afternoon with another show full of random nerdery and dorkery and geekery mixed up in the only way we know how. So if you've enjoyed the show, please subscribe, please hit the like button, please leave your comments, and we'll see you on the next WeeksEnd.
I'm floating out. Goodbye.